Content of this meeting is being sent to YouTube.
He's a sergeant. Can't believe it. You're gonna live long. I was thinking of you today.
Greeting, Harper.
Nice to see you. I was thinking of you today.
Hello, all. Welcome to the kitchen, to the Zoom test kitchen. And oh my goodness gracious, look who's here. Mr. Sargent. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you, sir.
It is so good to see you. I've missed you forever. You're safe, you're good, you're healthy, everything's okay?
Yep. Yep. Few people know what happened, but yeah, I'm fine.
As
Always
long as,
was. Actually, it was a family issue I had to take care of.
okay, but you're here now and we're just thrilled to have you, really.
Yep.
What a blessing. And let me just check in with Ray, because he's at least a little closer to the storm than I am. Ray, how did you weather?
We lost a few palm fronds, but other than that, we're just fine.
First world problems. We lost some
First
palm
world
fronds.
problems,
Yeah.
We got fortunate here in Central Florida.
Yeah. But certainly thinking about those folks in the panhandle who are really suffering right now. So good to see you here, Ray. And Mike, how are you?
Doing fine, and glad to know
Fantastic.
that our Floridians are doing well.
Yeah, we're all doing well. We also lost a palm frond or two, but we're surviving just fine. Hello, Mr. Andy. How you doing?
There we go.
He's looking for the mute button.
Yep,
Yes,
I'm good.
Andy
I'm
doesn't use Zoom that much, so he has to go find the mute button.
No, I just recently got a Extreme XL, and so I'm programming all my ISO buttons on it.
So the other day, I just have to just so you know, if you ever find yourself needing an extra Stream Deck XL, the other day, one of mine stopped working, and I freaked out. So I immediately bought another one. And then that one started working again. But so now I have an extra one, because, I'm not going to return it. So now I have one at home. So
Nice.
good for you. That's awesome. Hey, Frank. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Are any of us buying the Rodecaster video? Just curious. No.
Oh, are you going down this road already?
No,
All right, that was quick. That was quick.
I'm just asking. It looks like a beautiful device. It really does. It looks like it rivals in some ways, in many ways, perhaps, certainly the ATEM Mini, maybe even some of the bigger ones.
Yep.
I have zero use for it, but it looks like a beautiful device. Yep.
Yeah. So basically, the short version of it is a 6-input unit. It is a 4 physical input unit with 2 USB inputs. It does have XLRs.
Which right there distinguishes it from any other switcher that I know of, at least. Yeah.
Right. Part number 2 is that it has, for the people that are into professional gear, they have Nutric combo jacks audio inputs in the back. And Frank's got the thumbs up 2 seconds after I said that. Nutric is known for they are the industry go-to when you come to connectors and ports and plugs and such. So
Mike, do you know, are there Neutrik on the Rodecaster Pro?
Yes.
And the Rodecaster 2? Oh, they are. They're all the same.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a standard. And again, because now that Rode now owns Mackie, Mackie will definitely have some sort of influence in that. I didn't know that.
As well. When did that happen? I missed that.
That happened January this year.
Oh,
it just happened just before the NAMM show.
A year ago. Wow. I didn't know that. Okay. Okay. And Hasmik is here, but he's hiding. So we're just going to say hello to Hasmik and thank him for his meters. So we had big drops this week, yesterday. I was actually on a call with Andy and I was this close to asking him, where are the updates? And he said, as soon as we get off the call, I'm sending the email. So we got the updates last night, at least for me here on the East Coast. I am proud to say that I am probably the first person to have found a bug in Tiles already. I'm waiting for the email. Literally right before this started, I was trying to join this meeting and it would not join this meeting.
I had the same issue. So I found one too. I could not join a webinar. It wouldn't let me join a webinar. And they gave me an update for that, but I still can't join this meeting with it.
Right. So I'm waiting for the email for the update for that. Oh, so I wasn't the first. You were the first. Well, that stinks.
Oh, I
Okay.
don't know if I was the first, but I found
Well,
one
I
too.
just did it. I just did it before this meeting, so I think you win. But I'm in another meeting, so we can kind of talk about what some of the updates are. So I would say the big forward-facing update is the use of these name tags. And let me actually bear with me for a moment while I figure out. Did someone just spotlight me? Thank you. Bear with me. Hold on. I'm just trying to find my button. Is that the right button? That is kind of the right button, but not really. Hold on. Sorry, I'm just trying to get. Oh no, that's not what I wanted. I'm trying to show the back end of this. Oh, I know what it is. I know what it is. I didn't have it open. My apologies. So the back end looks pretty much exactly like it did before. All right. Now I should be able to choose this camera. I apologize, everyone. There we go. Okay, well, that's kind of it, isn't it? Then I'll move that over. Oh, I know why it's doing this. I know what. Now, see, if I were smart, I would have set this all up ahead of time, but I was busy playing with tiles and trying to get capture, desktop. Let's just do this. We'll do tiles for Zoom. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Capture. You know, it's one of the. I'm using NDI scan converter. One of the challenging things is that you have no way of knowing what window is what. Is this it? No. See, it's so weird. There's no way for me to know. I'll just have to do desktop and we'll just have to suck it up. Okay. So let me go into the editor. There we go. So what is going on? This is really strange. I apologize, everyone. All right, you know what? Let's not start with tiles. How's that? Let's start with anything other than tiles. And now literally everything has crashed. Main camera, main camera, main camera. Hello? Yeah, I am hung up. It's NDI. I think that's the problem.
Looks like you're on split screen.
No, yeah, but I'm most definitely not. And I can't even change my camera now. So I'm going to quit and restart that.
I knew there was a reason I liked my constellation.
What do you say?
I said I knew there was a reason I liked my constellation.
What's your constellation? Oh, yeah. All right. You know what?
He didn't mean Gemini in the sky.
No, I know. Okay. I'm truly perplexed as to what's going on here. There we go. I'm back. I apologize. I don't know what that was. That was the strangest thing. If I go over here. Well, in any case, I will figure that out and show it later. Let's start with OSC then, right? Because there's not much actually to show you with OSC. So with OSC, the big change, it seems, is the addition of polling. My whole system is just getting hung up today. Oh God, oh. And unfortunately, I can't show you polling because it's built in, but from what I can glean, you have to have an interface to be able to actually, like, you have to have commands to do something with polls, and those don't exist right in OSC. You need a third party like companion to do that, and that is not updated yet. They are working on the update, but it's not updated yet. So I'm sorry. I'm just like, I don't understand what is going on here with my computer. I'm gonna, Mike, do you have the changelog up? I'm gonna restart this. I'm gonna make you host, and I'm gonna just give my computer a fresh restart. Or we could talk about anything else for that matter. Is that cool?
Yeah, no, yeah, sure. Just give me a few seconds and I can.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'm gonna talk amongst yourselves, say hi to each other. I'm just gonna restart because nothing is working for me. I apologize, guys. I'll be right back.
All right. So as David reboots his infamous Mac, yes, I did say Mac. It's not a PC. Breaking news.
Running Sequoia.
Yeah.
Running Sequoia. I noticed that.
Yeah, exactly. And it let him down. It did indeed let him down.
I think it was. I think it's NDI because I've seen NDI do that to me many times. It is the reason now sitting on my Mac Mini, I have Blackmagic monitor box, the USB 4 attachment running into my Constellation, so I can send video output hardwired, no nonsense. It's there into my Constellation, and then I can send it outbound. I've had NDI fail on me. I used it for a while. I've had it fail on me in odd ways, not just break, just misbehave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And also, unfortunately, and I still haven't seen it in the latest version that they've repaired this, that there's officially still video drift.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So that is still, Pete, you've seen that in the latest version?
No, because I've stopped using the latest version, but I remember the
Okay.
video. I really, with rare exception, do I do anything with NDI anymore. And I don't do anything like a lot of you guys do, but
Right.
twice a month I run some stuff for the Boy Scouts, and I gave up. And it's not like I have an overly stressed network at home, so I'm not worried about my network capabilities at home.
Right.
But it just odd things would just start to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, that is what I've seen in testing, and I'm not gonna promote or deny that, my love for NDI is very minimal. But again, it is a situation like with you, Pete. I will also only use NDI if I really have to.
Yeah.
Just like I will only go wireless on anything unless I really have to.
Yeah. Everything's hardwired in my office today, but I got so frustrated at the beginning of this year that I went and just I spent a bunch of money, but I've got a 2ME sitting on my desk.
Yep.
And I found some interesting uses for, people say, but you don't have that many inputs and outputs. And I go, well, yes and no. So I reroute the multi-views into two of my inputs, and two of my outputs then go to my screens. And I reroute the control for my web presenter the same way, and the control for my HyperDeck the same way. So I could pull up all my various screens. Yeah, I'll show you.
Sure. Ray, is it usually this long for a Mac to take to reboot?
No.
Don't make me the official Mac representative. I'm thinking about bagging my Mac. It's thrown me so many loops in the last week that
that's what I stare at on the opposite side. If I were to, you can see my hand I'm looking at, and then let's see. That's the rest of it.
Right. Oh, I see someone.
He appears to be back.
He does appear to be back.
Test him first before you let him in.
Well, he's muted. He's muted.
Yeah.
And you're
Don't you
back.
don't you hate when it's user error? You
Well,
shut everything down, you restart it, and then you realize, oh, I had pressed the wrong button or something stupid like that.
Oh, PBCK,
PBCK?
problem between chair and keyboard.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, what did I miss? Anything exciting?
Pete was showing off his new environment in his studio, and
Oh,
we
that's
were bashing Mac products very well.
Okay.
Except I'm a Mac user through and through. So
Well, there you go. All right. So should we try this again? So let's see. Oh, I forgot to rename myself. So let's take a look at, can someone what do you call it? Me? Oh, I can do me. I got it. Okay. All right, so here's tiles. Now we're in tiles again. We're starting with tiles again. So here's what we got. Forgive me for looking off to the side here. The interface looks exactly the same. And because I can't join this meeting yet, I'm in the Ivy meeting that's going on. So the big difference is in the editor, you've got gallery, animations, and now you've also got overlays up at the top. So if I click on overlays, so these are all the same. I think. I mean, there may be updates to it, but I believe there's. We can look at the release notes in a second. But the big thing is these overlays. So you've got show name tag. So if I toggle that on or off, and I was playing with this earlier, so I changed the font and I changed the size and stuff like that. You can do it left, center, right. Obviously, the left or right doesn't really work when you're using circles. The name text color. Interestingly enough, I had put these colors down here in the last one for, I was using them for like the border stuff like that. It remembered them, which was really nice. And then you can also choose your background color if you want a background color. And then the corner radius. So if you want, it's a little difficult to see here, but if you, I wonder actually if I change this to something brighter, I wonder if that might be easier to see. Yeah, there you go. Right, so if I wanted to, there we go, I'll have to be roundish. So that's all the name tags. Now, again, you can't change the names in Zoom tiles, but if someone were to change their name, and I can't demo this here, but if someone were to change their name in the meeting, then their name would change here. You've also got the hand raise. So show hand raise. If I toggle that on or off, it's not showing it right now. That's interesting. It did before. Let me turn this stuff off and see if, when I toggled it on before, it showed me what it would look like, and it's not now. Even though no one was raising their hand. That's interesting. That's a little thing also. The first time I did this, I was able to see a demo of what it would look like. All right, that's okay. So top left, hand size. I found it to be a little small, I think. So I raised it a little. You've got the emoji reactions. See, this is what it was doing this for me, but with the hand raise, showing me the hand raise. With the circles, they're outside. If I remember correctly, let's change it back to square. If I remember correctly, they are what do you call it? Yeah, they're inside if you do a square or like a rounded rectangle type of thing. I'll keep it like that. And then, look at that. This I hadn't seen before. So you can only do certain emojis. Like you can turn off emojis just by clicking them. That's a nice little UI piece right there, I have to say. Where do you want them? Top left, center, top right. Look at how they slide. That's kind of cool, actually.
Mm-hmm.
This is interesting. So between top left and center, you've got that nice little smooth animation, but then it kind of breaks between center and top right. That's interesting. And you've got reaction size and duration. And then you've also got the feedback reaction. So this is the feedback reaction. It's the little thing at the bottom of your reactions. It's the, vote yes, vote no, or I'm out to coffee, or, coffee break or whatever. If you turn those on, you can see what that'll look like also. Now, again, unfortunately, it's because it can't be in this meeting, we can't actually demo this because we can't get these avatars to raise their hands and things like that. But that's the big update, I think, or piece of this. And look at this also. I just saw this. So in the editor, you can now choose, do I want to see name tags? Do I want to see hand raises? Maybe you don't want that in the editor because you want to do some, very careful editing of how you want this to look. So that's nice. So I have them all turned on. The animations, I believe, are the same. I don't think that's changed. Again, we'll pull up so let me go back. So here's what that looks like now. So I've got the name tags. Again, I made the font a little bigger. I put the background on. You can't, oh wait, can you? Hold on, sorry. I'm wondering if you can decide how high you want the, yes. Name tag size and name tag position. So this is, you can see that I'm raising and lowering it.
Mm-hmm.
So on the back end here, I've got the name tag position, which allows me to go up and down with the name tags, which is actually nice. I hadn't seen that before. So now I can make that a little lower. Yeah. So this is the big thing. Let me pull up the notes for us. So yeah, the first thing they say is the overlay section. I've got the notes here for us. Name tag, hand raise, emoji, feedback. There's a new overlay previews drop down at the top. That's what we just saw. Note that in Zoom, it is possible to simultaneously display an emoji and a hand raised, or an emoji and a feedback, but raised hand and feedback are mutually exclusive. Well, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Did you know that? We can test here. Raised hand and feedback are mutually exclusive. So I want to try that. So if I go to react, and then I do this, and then I raise my hand. Yeah, look at that. Huh, I didn't know that. That's interesting. Okay. Oh, sorry. I buried the lead actually. The name tags and feedback is one of the big features, but the other big feature for big productions is this multiple devices running tiles working together. This is, again, I don't really have multiple devices, although would this work? Oh no, they have to be in the same account, right? I was wondering if we could do it, like if Andy and I could do it since we're both in this meeting. Oh, but we're not in this meeting tiles.
Well, no, it wouldn't have to be, because of the way it doesn't, it just grabs them based on the participant list and it hashes the names. And so if we're in the same meeting, it should work.
So yeah, so you don't even have to be in the same account. Okay. We can't do that. We can't test it, unfortunately. Not yet, at least, in this meeting. So let me show you what that looks like. So over here, that is, where is that? Is that in outputs? So in outputs, just like before, you can see all of your what's actually going out right here. And I'm sending mine out via NDI. And then at the bottom here, the new thing that we have is multiple device participant filter. And it says, and I'm sorry, I can't make it bigger, but it says this advanced, can I make it bigger? No, sorry, I was trying to zoom in and zoom out, but it's not letting me. This advanced feature allows you, oh, typo. There's a typo, tiles, people. Should be allows. This advanced feature allows you to use tiles across multiple devices, limiting the portion of participants that are placed in each instance's galleries to avoid duplicates. So then if I toggle this on, then I get below filter mode. So what is my filter mode? Is it multi-device or is it participant range? Andy, I'm not sure I know what the difference is there. Number of devices, and then device index. So which I guess is each device has to have a different index. Andy, do you know what that filter mode is?
I don't.
No, I don't know either. Anyone know what that filter mode is? I do not know. So that's huge, but that's a big thing though. If you've got multiple screens, oh, sorry, I have to co-host you. It's a big, it's a big, nice update for tiles. If you ask me, it is still that, you know, it's still buggy. In that both Andy and I in the first day have found a couple of bugs. So, but it's nice. Let's see what else there is. Added new distribution modes for the galleries. When the number of participants in the meeting is fewer than the number of available spaces across your galleries, this new gallery distribution setting in the Outputs tab controls how the participants should be distributed across the galleries. Well, no, wait a second. I didn't see that. Hold on. Outputs tab. Okay. Orientation angle, auto start queue, gallery distribution. Oh, I see what right. So you've got waterfall, even, or random. Is this just how it changes? Yeah. Oh, look at that. So that's waterfall when I guess one flips at a time. Even is when two flip at a time. This will change in a second. Oh no, that didn't work. Maybe I'm wrong. That's random. Let me lower this so that it happens more quickly.
David, are you hosting these people pictures, or is this something that that others can try?
Oh no, anyone can try this. No, this is Ivy. It's the Ivy one.
Okay.
It's my Ivy .site. It's officehours.com. Wait a second, I have the URL here actually. You know what else is interesting, and this is new, is that now I used to be able to click on something that was underneath tiles and it would bring it to the fore. I can't now. Tiles always stays on top, and honestly, it's a little annoying.
Are you sure that's not a setting that you can change? I found a setting for being on top all the time.
Oh my goodness. Hi, Lois.
No.
I didn't see you here. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just looking for that link for you. It is Zoom
Roland
test room.
just posted it.
Thank you. Office hours something. Office hours.global/Zoom test. Although you can't get that's the link shortener. You can't use that. Here, I'm gonna pop it in the chat because you can't actually use that in tiles, at least not yet. That may be coming in the fix. I don't know. Notes. I will pop the link in the chat for you. Here it is for anyone who wants to use it. Everyone in meeting. There we go. So I wonder. I'm not quite sure that I understand what the gallery distribution. So it says. Let me go back to the notes here. When the number of participants in the meeting is fewer than the number of available spaces across your galleries, the new gallery distribution setting in the Outputs tab controls how the participants should be distributed across the galleries. The info button next to gallery distribution will explain the algorithm used for each mode. Oh, I see. All right, so let me pull this out. Interesting. Okay, so the info button.
You're not showing it.
No, I know.
Okay.
Sorry, I want to know what I was showing first. So, boy, my big fat head is in the way. How do I turn my head off? This is actually an interesting way that they did this. The info button changes. What you're on in here, what you've chosen changes what is shown in the info button. Let me hide this. Okay. So now if I come over here and I go back to waterfall, this will show me fill the first gallery completely, then, oh, there's another typo, liminal people, then in your help there. First, fill the first gallery completely, then the second, then the third, etc. It should be then the, for folks who are watching. Even is place one participant in gallery 1, then next in 2, then 3. Okay. And random is place each new participant randomly across all galleries. Okay. So this is gallery distribution. The number of participants in the meeting is fewer than the number of available spaces across your galleries. So if there are 100 spots available, oh, I guess this is deciding where people, okay.
This is the
let's say
output side. This is the output side.
Right. So let's say you've got 3 screens with 30 participants each. I'm making those numbers up. But you've only got 50 people in your meeting. So you've got 10 empty spaces. This is going to decide, and then someone new joins. I believe this is deciding where that person goes. Right? Randomly, they go somewhere, they go anywhere. Waterfall means you're going to fill the first gallery first. So the first computer will have the 30 people first, and then it'll go from to the second and third. And the even means that the first person will go into the first gallery, second person will go into the second gallery, and so on and so forth. That makes sense. All right. So then we got, what else do we have here?
David, did you notice that there's now countdown clocks before it changes?
I think there was before.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure there was before.
Yeah, there was before. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
It is a really nice little feature, those clocks. Added initial support for Blackmagic desktop video device outputs.
I have not had a chance to test that yet. I was going to test and see because I have a deck link, but I haven't had a chance to do it yet.
So what is that? Does that mean, Andy, that
you can
if you got, go ahead. I'm sorry.
If you have one of the deck link duo or quads, you can output the video to it. So if you have SCI or HDMI with a Blackmagic, you can send your things out to that. So you can put it into your switcher and put it into whatever you want, video wall,
Gotcha.
whatever.
You can go out to deck link.
Mhm.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's not in, right?
Yep. Gotcha. Modify defaults across the app, which you can see if you clear cache. Okay. Support for joining via ZAC token. That I saw when I was trying to join. Direct support for TK equals webinar token. What is that? Does anyone know? TK equals
Ticket?
webinar token?
Ticket
I don't know.
or a spell check problem.
Frank, do you know? Have you ever heard of that?
Sounds like it would be token, but I don't know.
Oh, okay. Support personal meeting links in the URL.
Hey, David.
Yeah.
Liminal just emailed me and said that they found one more crash with the link, so you might want to check your email.
Oh, really? Okay.
Mhm.
Personal meeting links in the URL join method. Graceful load of wait, this is also a big one. Hold on. Now in the filter, so down here there's including galleries. I wasn't sure if this was new or not. There's now, do you want to include host or co-host? Do you want to include non-video participants? Do you want to include self? And do you want to include active speaker? That's a big one. That's a nice one. So that way, if you're building a scene and say with ISO or Ecamm, and you want to have the active speaker, say in the middle or off to the side, that person will not show up, whoever the active speaker is, in your gallery view that you've made here in Tiles. So that's a nice one. Show tile overlays is now renamed to show tile controls. Fixed bug, fixed bug, fixed bug. Okay. And then lots and lots of bugs. Lots and lots of bugs. So that's a nice update. Let me check the old email here and see what we got.
Now, I'm assuming this only works if you're licensed for events, right?
So no, you can buy these standalone.
No,
Thanks,
I
David.
don't think you can buy Tiles standalone.
I just look. I can't find.
No, you're right. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. OSC and ISO are standalone. I apologize. Right, Tiles is bundled with them through the
Zoom sessions or Zoom events.
Either, but you can actually download it without either of those. I just don't think you get the output. So if you want to play with it, you can download it and play with it. I just don't think you're able to output to a screen. I believe that's what they're doing. All right, yeah, they did just send an update, so I'll go ahead and install this while we're doing whatever. Let me just get this over there. And so I'm going to quit Tiles. You know what's interesting? Every single time I quit Tiles, I get the pop-up that says Tiles for Zoom quit unexpectedly.
Because it's not leaving Mac OS cleanly.
Yeah. Interesting. All right, Andy's back in with his new okay, I just made I just put this in a note for myself and now I can't find it. Oh, there it is. All right. Has anyone played with ISO or OSC? The new ones? Or am I the guinea pig?
I've got it right now, but I'm not, and I'm running it. How I'm joining this meeting, but I'm not really played much with anything new with the polls and stuff.
Yeah, and again, the problem for me, and tell me if maybe I'm wrong here, but the problem with I don't know yet how to access polls. Oh, sorry, Andy, who was requesting the live stream. I don't know how to access polls because there's no interface yet. Right? There's like companion. You would need some way to.
Aren't there the OSC commands?
Yes, but how do you trigger an OSC command without a third party?
Use the native companion OSC interface.
No, but this isn't included yet in companions. But these updates are not.
I said the native companion OSC. There is a module where you can send OSC commands from companion to anybody.
You would just need to write the commands yourself. I hear what you're saying. Yeah. And that's where it breaks down for me.
I understand.
I wonder if let me pull up. I wonder if they've included like how to write those yourselves.
There have been some examples in the earlier days, but I don't know if they are outdated or not. And you still had to figure a bit yourself out.
Yeah, I'm pulling up the syntax list to see if this does not look up to. Oh no, I apologize. Zoom 4.5. Hold on. Let's see. source of Zoom. Okay. Sorry, I should be sharing this with everyone. I'm just looking at this is right from their website. It said 4.5, and I believe that's what we're on. Let's see if there is something here for polls. Settings.
David, Andy from YouTube has a comment.
Yeah, go for it.
The commands are all documented in the PDF that is included in the download.
Oh, okay. Here it is.
There you are,
and
there
it's
you are.
and it's here. Yeah. So this, okay. So we can let's try it. Let's do something. Let's
So-
just figure out how. Go ahead.
I
I'm
was
sorry.
I was able to join the meeting with tiles, but when I try
Are
to
you?
show my NDI, it doesn't actually show up in Ecamm. So I don't know if that's an issue with my machine or tiles.
All right,
It
interesting.
was working earlier, before the update.
All right, let's try. So
Andy,
I'm
can your PC see any other NDI sources if you loaded up NDI monitor?
Good question. Hold on.
Guaranteed, I think that's going to be Andy's first question, or Andy in YouTube land first question.
All right, I just got
Yeah,
this
there's
up.
I've got ProPresenter running, and I can see NDI sources from ProPresenter.
And you're
All right.
not currently in tiles.
Yeah, well, in Ecamm, I can't. Tiles is not. It's showing up as a source, but it's like not because it's not doing anything.
All right, so I'm in now. So let's see.
On in TTG tiles.
Yeah. Always ask, and it's asking me, and I'm approving it. So now let's see if I'm able to get the out. Hold on, I didn't set it up yet. NDI. It's interesting. Look at that. Yeah, the NDI is.
All black.
Yeah, it's not working for me either. That's interesting.
Andy in YouTube land, it's not working.
Say again?
So
Andy
yeah,
in YouTube land, it's not working.
Yeah.
okay, yeah, more comments coming.
Yeah.
Andy is saying set it to display, then back to NDI
Yeah.
or none.
Yep. So I just turned it to none and display and NDI. So now I just have to come over here and choose this again. Tiles display 1. Wait.
It didn't fix the issue for me. I went ahead and
No.
did it to a display, and it didn't do it.
Yeah. Doesn't seem to be working.
David, did you ask and approve yourself for?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you're
Yeah.
not on the list.
Who's
Only-
not on what list?
Andy's on the list, but TTG tiles is not.
No, it's I'm good. I've got capture enabled. Wait, you know what though? Wait. So I always have my capture the way that I capture, I always have it set to recording because of the Ivy thing, because that requires recording. Let me try and okay, let me see if this makes a difference.
For what it's worth, I mean, I'm getting the video like in my tiles app. I
Yeah.
can see the tiles showing up. It's just not showing up in an NDI.
No, I agree. I'm having the same thing. Yeah.
And David, I see you now as an
Yeah.
active.
Yeah, that's because, yeah, sorry about that. I was recording rather than live. It doesn't matter. It's still, it's the NDI. There's something going on with the NDI that's not working. Okay. So, but let me go back now and let's build one of these. So I'm going to start a poll.
You have polls predefined. This looks like, I've not played with it, but this looks like you actually have to have polls already set up.
Yeah, well, let's see. So we're going to go to a blank page here. Do it here. And now I don't actually build these myself.
You actually have to have, wait a minute, you have to go back to connections. You have to
do?
go back because you have to build, just type in OSC in the search.
Oh, I already have the OSC module.
No, you don't. No.
Yeah.
You have the Zoom one. I'm talking about just type OSC in the search.
The generic one.
The generic OSC module. You need that one.
What?
Now it gets more interesting.
All right. I have no idea what I just did, but what? Okay. So now.
There are no buttons. There are no.
Yeah. I understand. Okay. So now I can do OSC.
Well, I don't think you set the other one up, did you?
I didn't set anything up. What do you mean?
Go back to your connections.
Yeah.
It's not filled in. You don't have target IP.
You have to.
I don't know what I'm doing. Give me a break. Hold on. Target host. Is that what this is? Target IP.
Andre, maybe can you help David through this?
Please go back to the OSC ISO module. Target host should be
That's the IP, right?
Yeah.
And this is 9090.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Darn tootin', I'm right. All right. So now, let me just refresh this just for good measure. All right. So now, you're saying
generic.
Generic?
Type. It should be, scroll down because it should be one of your other options. Way down. It's probably the last one. Yeah, there you go. There
Okay.
you go, OSC. Right.
Send, and then which one would I use here? Send integer, send float, send string, send message without arguments, send Boolean.
I would say if you go back to that PDF you were looking at, there is an implication on that from what I'm reading. I haven't played with it, but there's an implication that you've already pre-set up polls when you set up the meeting.
No, that I understand, but shouldn't I just be able to type whoops, sorry. Shouldn't I just
because look at what it's asking, is saying start a poll. What's the poll ID?
Right, string poll ID.
So you need to know the poll ID, which you would get from setting it up.
Yeah. No, I know. Right, that I got you. All right, let's do a poll. Let's open up polls here. And all right, we actually already have one.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, I've already got some up here and ready to go. Oh, sorry, Andy, I didn't see that. So now how do you string poll ID? How do I find the ID?
Isn't that given to you when you set it up?
Yeah.
No.
When you set it up, not when you started.
So let me go in the back end and let's see if it's there. Zoom.us.
Is all of this still plain vanilla Zoom?
No, this is, so now we're looking at ZoomOSC. Where are, not surveys.
You have to go into surveys. There you go.
Polls and quizzes. There we go. Simplified. Yeah. Okay. I don't want to do that. All right. Experience poll. So
There's 3 dots on the side.
yeah. Skip tour. Yeah, there is no.
Go back to the. Yeah, and you have the 3 dots on the side.
On the right. Here we go.
Yeah.
Preview.
Edit, duplicate, delete.
And what's the other one right next to it?
Try edit.
Preview from new.
No, there's
the icon.
The icon. What is that?
That's statistics or analytics.
Oh, right.
Results.
Maybe it's as simple as 1, 2, 3, the order you set it up.
Yeah.
Okay, so if that were the case, then wouldn't I just
Zoom copy that string and go.
Right. So then which OSC action would it be?
You want to say go all the way down, OSC.
Type generic. That's more easy
Yeah.
to find.
Right.
Type generic.
No, it's right here. These are the
Yeah, okay.
the ones at the bottom. Oops. Sorry about that. I lost it. Hold on. It's not. No. Go away. Generic. It's interesting. Nothing comes up for generic, actually.
Well, it's yeah. And if you type in OSC, you'll get them all.
Yeah.
OSC.
If you'd actually
Uh-huh.
renamed it in your
Right,
connections
right,
list,
right, right.
then
So
you
here are
could-
the options I have. Send message without arguments, send integer, send float, send string, send message with multiple arguments, or send Boolean.
I would say either send string or send message without arguments, but
All right, well, let's try send string. So OSC path, so we replace that.
with
Oops.
Zoom /Zoom.
With, yeah, Zoom and then start poll. So Zoom, start poll.
And then put the value of 1 in.
Okay.
Now, if it doesn't work, you'll have to go over to your ZoomOSC instance and see.
Right.
Well, yeah, assuming you're running that.
Is that the exact spelling with a capital P and a small?
Yeah, it is. If you take over here, the second word is capitalized.
But then the string is in curly braces.
Yeah, but here we did it separately. So this, I'm sure, by the way, is just me not knowing what I'm doing. You
need to put a title under button text, otherwise you'll never find it.
No, I know it. I mean, yeah, it's whole. It's not doing anything, so that's not the right one. All right, but you know what? We don't have to spend time trying to figure this out, because I'm sure that let me pull this up again. I'm sure that, in fact, I saw that Justin is already working, I think, on updating the companion module. But you can start a poll, stop a poll, relaunch a poll, get poll answers, get poll info, get list of polls, or get poll questions. I wonder what happens when you do get list of poll. Bye, Andy. When you do get list of polls, I wonder if you're able to act on that. Like, where do you see? I guess you just see those in your OSC device, in your OSC.
This is where the companion module has to do some magic.
Right.
Same with get poll questions.
Yeah. Get poll questions. So what does that mean? Request the list of questions within a poll.
So you can have multiple questions in one poll. So say I use this a lot
Right.
in Scouts, right? I have one slide may generate 4 different poll questions, but I only have the poll for that one slide, and then questions 1, 2, 3.
Right. My question is, what I'm curious about is how, when it says request that, where do I get that? Where do I receive that information? That's the question I'm asking.
It's probably an OSC message coming back, which is why I say the companion module
Companion needs to do its
to do
thing.
some
Yeah.
magic to parse that.
Yeah. Huh.
I mean,
Okay.
I've written OSC code in the past, and parsing that stuff coming back is always not a family safe thought process.
Yeah. Okay. Well, again, we don't need to sit here and try and figure this out, but let's see what else there is. Here we go, the notes. There's the change log 4.5. So this is for OSC. We've got Zoom polls, added direct. So yeah, we did that. Change meeting status. That's actually something that I don't know if this is specifically it, but I had asked is there a way to know, is there a way for OSC to know when it's left a meeting? Because what I'd like is when I end it. So right now I have an end button that kicks me out of the meeting, ends the meeting, and does a few other things. I'd also like it to, when the meeting ends, sorry, let me change that. I don't always remember to press the end button. If I press the leave meeting button in OSC, then I can have my Stream Deck switch to another page. I don't always remember to do that. Sometimes I just leave the meeting. What I'd like is for OSC to know what state it's in, to know whether it's in a meeting or not, and then be able to take actions based on that. I had asked for that. I'm not sure if that's what this is, but, and then we've got some security improvements and upgrading the Zoom meeting SDK.
David, I also put in chat what Andy's latest comment was related to poll ID. Or I think you've moved on though, right?
The poll ID is part of the OSC output in the output section of the OSC app. You're not going to find it online. Okay, so let's open up.
Open up the document you were looking at, not the,
No, it's he said it's going to be in the app, in the OSC output of the app.
That's not what it says. It says in the API.
Oh, I apologize.
output
in the-
section of the API, which means, in our case, reading the document. The output section that describes the OSC commands that relate to output.
Okay. Maybe I'm not understanding. But here's outputs. Here we
There
go.
you go. Those are the messages coming back.
Right. Oh, here's the meeting status changed. Okay. Let me find, see if there's polls. Here's a poll. Answered, no. Sorry, this is questions. List
There
of
you go.
polls.
There you go. There you go.
So, polling status codes. So can someone help me parse this?
Well, the only thing that really is going to help you with is if you're doing OSC programming, you're going to get back a series of numbers and text, and now you know what to do with it.
Right.
All of this programming stuff isn't something that you need to know in order to use a poll, is it?
No.
No, but until, look, we're lucky. We have people like Justin who build interfaces for us, so we don't have to ever look at this stuff. Until he builds it, this is the only way to be able to actually, as far as I understand it, to be able to actually test the polls piece of OSC. But like I said, we're not gonna dwell on it anymore.
So you're talking about making instead of using, right?
No, I want to use it's just brand new, so it's not the making piece of it isn't entirely done for us yet.
Yeah.
That's
What you'd
all.
like is a button on your Stream Deck that
That's
says
exactly right.
"Go poll for question 2."
Right, exactly. And that just, it's not here yet. Okay, so let's jump on from there. Thank you though. Real quick, we'll just do the ZoomISO notes. So 48K audio quality in advanced audio. That's the big thing here. Everyone, whether you're sending 48K or not, what will come out is 48K. If you don't transmit it yourself, then it will be converted to 48K. NDI audio sample rate selection has been removed. Oh, they're all running 48K, that's why. Interpretation audio. This was the big thing. Tiles tester wants to test. Approve. Yeah, this is the big thing. There's a new option under the mode menu for advanced audio channels to be set to interpretation. When this mode is used, the selection option will display the various interpretation languages available in the meeting. And those channels will contain a mix of all audio from that language. Wow. Yeah, this is all for Robert. The assignments and outputs would not automatically restore. A few other issues. Updated to meeting SDK 6.1.1. And all the 4.5 OSC stuff is in here. Okay. So audio and sounds to me like audio quality and the Zoom interpretations are the two big pieces from that.
And it says, do not set ISO to as an interpreter.
Right. Okay. So those are our toys. Let me see if I wonder if anyone, I don't know if anyone, I wonder if they're actually watching or if we need to send a note.
Andy's watching.
No, I know Andy's
Andy Carlucci.
Yeah, but I intentionally did not, when I found the bug, I intentionally did not ping him because I just sent it to info@liminal.et. I can go ahead and send them another message about the NDI. So what else is going on for folks? What are we playing with? What questions do we have? What's going on? Now that I've bored everyone to death with Tiles, OSC, and ISO. Yeah, Lois, go for it.
I don't know if I mentioned this last week or not, but do you notice my background? It's fuzzy. It's blurred. I have it turned off. When I go to choose virtual background, you can do all these things and you can do a blur and you can do none. Well, none isn't none anymore.
What kind of camera are you using?
It doesn't matter.
Oh, sure it does.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
It's the difference between 2 weeks ago and this week.
Are you on a Mac?
I am on a Mac.
Go up and click on the camera icon on the very top. You can.
I don't think I have a camera. There we go. Okay.
Yeah, there's. I stumbled on a couple of things there.
It's got mic mode. I see that.
Click on portrait. It changes your background.
I don't have portrait.
If you're not on are you on an M series Mac or are you still on an Intel based Mac?
Probably an Intel.
It's an iMac from 2021.
Yeah, so you don't have that option.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it may be still messing with you because it will, as a Mac OS, at least for the last year, has done some interesting things with your background when you're in Zoom.
You're saying that this is Mac, not Zoom? That
Yeah.
it isn't Zoom that's isolating my body and fuzzing the stuff behind me?
That is one choice, one option. Yeah.
Did
And I
you?
know if
Be
you were on
bokeh.
a M1, if you were on a M1, 2, or 3 base, or 4 base Mac, it would be.
Oh, it looks good. Don't change it.
People pay extra for
It
that.
does. You look good.
So I know it looks good, but
Oh.
I don't want the hair fronds to do that little thing, like sometimes the background's clear and sometimes it's not. And I want that stuff to be sharp so people can see my artwork. I'm proud of my artwork.
It can't be.
But how can I get it back to being the way it was a month ago?
Time machine.
So there's 3 things going on, or 3 potential things going on.
Mhm.
There's the concept of bokeh, which is when the
Right.
focal plane of your lens has you in focus
Yep.
and your depth of field is too much, you're going to get the blurry background. That's one way it happens. That's physics.
Mhm.
Your Mac could be blurring your background, which is a feature of some Macs. And Zoom has focus blur in the
Okay.
background. So you have to eliminate all 3 potential reasons.
Okay. And I know that the first 2 aren't, well, that's not true. I know that the first one's not there. I'm familiar enough with photography to know that. And a month ago, it was using the same camera on the same setting and everything. It was,
See the video camera on Zoom? The icon down on the bottom left, click on the arrow next to it. One of the choices is blur my background. Could it
I
be?
understand that. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. If you go to backgrounds and effects, you can choose all these other backgrounds.
Right, but
Then
where
you can click blur and it looks like that. And then you click none and it looks like that.
right, but this is in a different spot.
Yes,
This is okay. If you click on the up arrow next to the
yeah, there it is. Blur my background.
blur my background, it's a separate. Maybe it's no, it's not. It's a macro. I mean,
It's there. It's also in the virtual background setting.
Yep.
It's the same thing. Okay, so y'all are trying to tell me that my Mac suddenly decided to have bokeh that it had never had before? Yeah,
move
right.
closer to your background.
What?
Move closer to your background. So you. There you go. Look at that.
Look at that
Yeah,
one.
you've got you've got an AI thing going. You've got something going on. Hold on a second. You've got something going on.
I know I got something going on. Are you telling me it's...
Can you do me a favor? Move back it one more time for me. Sorry.
more?
Well, I'm
No,
just
it's not.
wondering because I'm seeing something around your hair, and I'm wondering if that's the natural light doing that, or
No,
no.
there's something.
There's
something-
definitely an effect on somewhere. There's definitely an effect on.
Right.
So
It's separating me. You can tell that. Watch when I get my hand close to my head. See the difference there?
yeah,
Yep.
there's a light thing going on there.
And that's just a non-blur, and it's picking up that fabric.
What did you? How old did you say your Mac was?
2021.
Did you upgrade to Sequoia?
No.
Do you do any Mac updates, or do you have automatic updates on?
No, and no.
Do
Have you used FaceTime lately?
Have I used what?
FaceTime?
Not on this computer. I've used it on my phone, but not on this computer.
Do you have portrait lighting on? Turned on?
Is that something in Zoom?
It's a Mac thing.
It's a Mac.
No,
Mac
It
thing.
doesn't have that. Doesn't have that version. She doesn't have that.
It's only on the M series Macs. It's not on the Intel based Macs.
Okay.
I'd go to
So
a.
I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to log into one of these meetings on using a different camera and see if it still happens, because then it can't be the Mac. It would have to be
Are you
the
on an iMac or a laptop?
iMac. Big screen.
There
huge.
is portrait lighting in Zoom also. If you go into your video settings, let's just see. I don't think that's what it is,
I don't think that's what it is either.
because what that does is it dims your background.
No, I don't have portrait setting in the
It's
video.
under it's
stuff.
under background and effects. I apologize.
Okay, there we go.
I'm so sorry.
And
Oh yeah, there it is.
portrait lighting. Okay.
Oh,
You guys, you found it.
yeah, there you go. That's
Portrait lighting just blurs your background.
well, Roland Booth got it. Thank you, Roland. And yeah,
All right.
there you go.
I wonder if that came on automatically with a new version, because I don't recall ever seeing that before.
Possible.
Certainly was on. All right. So blurred, none. Yeah. Thank you very, very much. But that was an awful long discussion to figure out something that was so simple. So why would portrait lighting blur your background? Why don't they say blurred lighting instead of portrait lighting?
Well, I don't think the goal of it is actually to blur the background. That may be a byproduct. It's actually it's dimming your background, and so that you pop more. The idea is that it's in portrait mode, just like in on an iPhone, it makes you pop more.
It's fake bokeh.
Is it fake bokeh? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and when I go to that setting, there's a little question mark and it says, portrait mode highlights you while dimming your background. So it's off now. I'm gonna turn on, look at that and see if it gets dimmer. Doesn't get dimmer, it just blurs.
No, it
No,
gets
it
dimmer.
definitely got
It
dimmer.
does get dimmer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
But I'm really glad that you actually brought this up. And I'm going to make a comment here, which is not at all a reflection on you. It's a reflection on that particular setting and technology. It's not good at all. It's like, it's not a good look. I'm really glad that you brought
And
that
you
up.
can say adjust for low light, and that does some things. It's giving this a little bit more light there, but
Yeah.
Sounds like they added an option and didn't tell anybody and set it as the default.
I think that's what happened. I really do. Because,
It's well documented on the Apple site.
oh yeah, if one went and looked, they would find it.
Oh, you mean they actually turned zoom in?
No,
No,
but
but
portrait
this
lighting
is-
is well defined on the Apple website. If
No,
you go
but
look.
this was portrait lighting in Zoom.
Yeah.
That's where her problem was, not in Apple.
Yeah.
That's also well defined on the Zoom support site.
Yes.
If one knows it exists. Well, thank you all for solving that for me. Now I don't have to write in an irate letter.
Incidentally, speaking of fake bokeh, and I don't know if this is fake or not, but this is the new Insta360 link, Insta360 Link 2. And one of the things that they're touting is its ability to do really nice bokeh, natural
What size
bokeh.
chip does that use? Do you know?
It's actually at the bottom here. I saw it. Hold on. I want to say, I shouldn't say.
I think you passed it, but
Oh, did I? Sorry.
thought I saw something. You were going pretty fast, but I thought I saw something about a chip. Or I could have imagined it.
HDR.
Do you have one?
No, not yet. It's $200.
That's
I'd-
nothing for you. You've got all kinds of money.
Oh yeah, sure. I'd like one.
I've seen your computer desk.
Half inch. It's a half-inch sensor.
Oh, that's pretty good. You should get
For-
some bokeh out of that.
Yeah, is that what is 35 millimeter? How does that compare?
Oh God, I don't want to.
Math. Don't do math live. Yeah, half inch. 4K 30. So there are two versions of it now. There's one that has the gimbal for $199, I believe, and then one that doesn't have the gimbal. And yeah, what they're saying is that it's DSLR. Let me just go back up to the DSLR quality in a webcam. Now we'll have to see if that.
What does the gimbal do? Does it pivot on 3 axes or something?
Yeah, yeah. So I can. Let me. So this is actually the old Insta360, and I can move it around. I can have it go over there. Well, that didn't work at all. Hold on a second. Let me. I don't have it set up to actually do this. Here we go. So yeah, I can move it all around. It's just this little webcam. But
Yeah,
it's,
the tiny 4K does the same thing, but I would love to see a side-by-side comparison.
the tiny, the OBSBot?
Yeah.
Well, I could do that for you if you want.
Which one do you like better?
So here's the OBSBot. Wait, now I need to move that guy too. I don't know. They're both fine. The thing I can't stand about OBSBot, and this is probably a terrible thing to say, is I find their the software to be much flakier than Insta360. Speaking of which, it's not even opening right now. I clicked on it like 10 minutes ago and it's not opening.
We see
and now
from
I'm
your
having to. Yeah, no. That's I'm trying to open the software so that I can actually move it around, but it just crashed. So let me try and
If
open it again.
someone asks him to allow them to move his camera, you can do that without the software. I've got my Insta360 going right now.
Wait a second. Someone can control.
Right.
You can
Without
control the
any
gimbal?
additional software.
Really?
Try it.
Hold on a
Yeah,
second.
Somebody else try it.
Yeah. Let me just move this over here so I can show, so we can see it. Now the lighting is off, obviously, but so this is the OBSBot right over here. And then how the heck do I do this? And then this is the Insta360 link. I don't know. They both look. Oh wait, did you
Do you
even see
have
that
two
change? Did you?
controllers going for the same camera, David?
Do I have two? Yeah.
Why don't they conflict?
Well, they're two different apps. They're two
Yeah.
completely different apps.
And so if one gives one command and the other gives the other command, isn't your camera going to get confused?
No, they're two completely separate cameras. With
I didn't hear the two camera part.
Ah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
wondering who's
So-
trying to control the same camera.
Sorry.
And
No,
you're
no,
saying
no,
the
no,
same
no.
model, but different physical cameras.
Not even the same model. No. So one. This is the ob spot. Oh, that's interesting. That looks very different now that I did it that way. And this is the Insta360 link back there. Two different cameras. This is the one that has the new model that just came out. I haven't done any coloring or or anything on this. They're fine. I mean, I use them as kind of secondary cameras. I'd be really interested in. I'm not going to buy it, but I'd love to see if this one really is. We'll have to wait till we get the. What we should all really do is just buy an Ivy. That's what we should really do, right, Ray? Of course we should.
How many
So when
index
you,
do
so
you
David,
have?
here's an important question. When are you replacing the 15 with the 32?
My current
Kentucky.
15.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think I kind of like it. I like that it's like this is my Zoom one, right? This is how I control Zoom. Oh, I'm not even showing this to you. Bueller. Why isn't that working? Ugh, I did it again. I did it.
Yeah, I
again.
can't spotlight you either for some reason.
You can't spotlight me. What? I'm having a tech day today, folks. That's what's happening here. Over the shoulder. Oh, I see why. I know why. No, I have all my little Zoom things on this guy, and that's all I need. That makes me happy. There we go. Now you spotlight me, right?
Yeah, I was able to.
Someone
I had to
did,
go
yeah.
up into the gallery to actually spotlight you, but I couldn't actually do it when you were actually speaker.
Interesting. So in any case, sorry, I didn't mean to go down this rabbit hole. I just brought it up because one of the things they're touting for this new Insta is the natural bokeh. Lois, do you use? Sorry to put you on the spot. Do you use the camera built into your iMac more, or do you use the Insta3? Like, are you on your iMac camera now?
This is my iMac camera,
And do you use that
And
as opposed to
this
the Insta360?
and this is my Insta360.
And so, which one do you use more regularly?
I use the regular one more. I actually have the other one set up so that when I'm recording something and I'm standing up behind me to do exercises, they can see my whole body. The angle is really poor because I've got it on a ledge above my computer, but it's good for whole body things.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha. That makes sense. Yep, that makes sense. Great, thank you.
I also don't look up that far. So it's like, oh, hi, there you are.
Yeah. Okay. So what else are we doing? What else is going on, folks?
Do we want to talk about RTMP ingest?
Oh, yeah, we should talk about that. Mike, take it away.
Yes, sir.
No, I'm just,
All right.
No, if you
Well,
want to.
I'll give
Or if
you
you want to.
a little bit of the information that I ended up getting this week from the Zoom sessions, Zoom events meeting. Basically, there are, and again, we did do an actual test live this past Wednesday's meeting, and basically, so again, it's only for Zoom sessions and Zoom events webinars. Very important that I say that. Not regular webinars, but Zoom events and Zoom sessions webinar capabilities. So webinars that you make through having the Zoom events and Zoom sessions license. So that's very important. So right now, RTMP ingest is not available for regular webinar. So that's number one. I just want to make sure everybody understands that, because that was my biggest beef that I wanted to find out, and I did get that clarified. So the really nice thing about when you actually do an RTMP ingest is that the RTMP ingest does not actually show the name. So it automatically spotlights. So that's the two biggest features when you actually join the webinar as an RTMP ingest. It allows you to, when you join, it actually doesn't have a name, nor does it actually, sorry, it doesn't have a name, and also it makes you spotlit. So when you do come in, when you do go from backstage into the actual webinar itself, you're spotlit. Those are the main two things. And also, I let Josh and the people know in Zoom sessions and Zoom events that I actually opened up an actual feature request with vMix, with my relationship with them, to add the primary and backup server URLs into their destination list. So that hopefully will be coming soon. And anybody that is also part of the vMix forums, if you like that idea as well, please upvote that, and it'll be dealt with accordingly at vMix.
By the way, tiles update. NDI is working again. You have to clear the cache in between installs. And unfortunately, in doing so, it which makes sense, it lost all of my settings. So now I have to go back and change everything, but that's okay.
I found the same thing, David. I cleared cache and it worked for me too.
Yeah. Yep. That's all right. We'll take it. There we go. It's a little better look. One of the questions I had about the RTMP thing was RTMP is sending an RT. So for example, from Ecamm, I can stream to YouTube, Facebook, or to an RTMP, a custom streaming service, right? So I could potentially produce something in Ecamm and then stream it via RTMP into a Zoom meeting.
So my question. No, careful now. We want to make sure that this is important, because it's not a Zoom meeting. It's not a Zoom webinar.
Sorry. You're right.
Sessions.
You're right.
Very, very big. Yeah, because again,
you're absolutely right.
Big difference here.
No, you're absolutely right.
Sessions webinar or Zoom events webinar, but continued.
So, but Mike, you're absolutely correct. Thank you. So, but my question was, I could stream it into that, but it wasn't clear to me what the difference is between doing that and what I'm doing right now, which is using a virtual camera.
Right. Well, again, in most production workflows, chances are you will have more of an access to an RTMP encoder, be it vMix, be it Ecamm, be it Mimo Live, be it any hardware or software, even an A10 Mini Pro could be brought in, right? As an example, as long as you have an encoder that has the capabilities of RTMP, more specifically RTMPS, because they are using the secure version. But as long as your encoder has the capability of RTMP or RTMPS to the Zoom servers, you can bring that into a Zoom sessions, Zoom events webinar as a feed.
Right. But my question is, why would I want to do the RTMP stream versus a virtual camera? Like, is it, Peter, you're muted. I don't know if you.
Why wouldn't it? I mean, you're assuming you're the one creating the RTMP stream.
No, I guess what I'm asking is there a benefit to sending an RTMP stream in over sending using a virtual camera?
Well,
that's
if
what
I'm just using an RTMP encoder on like Mimo Live, because I've done this playing with YouTube, I'm not using the virtual camera function of Mimo Live. I'm not letting the Mac touch it. I'm letting Mimo Live send it straight out. If I send it in through the virtual camera function, the operating system will futz with the display.
Oh, I didn't. Okay, so that is one answer to my question. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, again, you'd be looping as Peter was saying, basically, then you're looping it into the OS and you're looping it back out again. So you're adding more delay by default too.
Right.
So whatever you produce in Ecamm by itself or OBS, of course, will work with this. And that was the demo that they did this week was OBS. So OBS, vMix on the Windows side, Wirecast. So those major brands that have the RTMP capabilities. On the Mac side, of course, OBS again, Ecamm, Mimo Live, insert your other Mac software that also have the RTMP. But again, it's the fully produced product that could be brought into the webinar. And when it's brought into the webinar, it doesn't come up and say, like in this case, you see on YouTube, Mike Latta. That's gone. Right. So that's also a big deal as well, because it really makes it entirely clean when it goes into the webinar.
Well, but
As a
if
feed.
I'm not an Ecamm for Live for Zoom right now, but if I were to grab you through that, it works just like ISO. It scrapes, it gets rid of all the cruft off of, like I'm able to send via virtual camera a clean feed with none of the Zoom artifacts on it also. Right.
But again, David, remember that you're sending this directly to webinar, right? You're not, so you are basically, the RTMP ingest becomes a panelist feed into the webinar, right?
And one thing I did see, which I thought was incredibly smart actually, is that as soon as the RTMP feed is received as a panelist, it automatically spotlights Zoom automatically spotlights that, which I thought that was a nice little
Yes.
nice little
And the
add-on.
other thing that's also important as well is very much in depending on your production workflow, is that you also have the capability of having a primary and a backup, so that you could actually have two encoders running, as most true production companies will run, is a primary and a backup encoder. Should the primary encoder or the primary encoder that is hooked up to a primary internet connection dies, you always have your backup encoder on a different internet connection. So you could actually feed both of those to this, and it becomes the same ingest. So should the primary die, Zoom is already waiting and we'll wait for a few seconds before it kicks in the backup. It's equivalent to if you've used the primary and backup functionality of YouTube.
Copy that. That makes sense.
But yeah, it's for the broadcast industry that are used to RTMP and don't want to run a PC that has a Zoom client on it, that you become just you log in via that client, and then you've got, then it becomes, you've got your name in there and such, then you have to be spotlit, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That all now disappears. And the RTMP, now again, is it two-way RTMP? Of course not. So it's only a one-way protocol, right? So do keep that in mind. So that is a bit of the downfall of the RTMP ingest. But again, if you are just producing the event, you have a production team on site, as an example, now you could actually bring this into a Zoom sessions, Zoom events, webinar from the location into a Zoom webinar, and it be equivalent to the production that's being put on locally. So again, this is also being sold or promoted a lot to the people that do a lot of hybrid events. Any questions? Peter, you know what we're talking about, right? When it comes to the encoders?
Yeah, I've played with, like I said, I've played with doing YouTube encoding. I've not, obviously, I don't have an events license. I don't have any of that kind of stuff, so I can't play with the Zoom version of it. But that's one of the things I learned was if you use a direct encoder to YouTube, there's actually, just like we've always found about on a Mac, the color space doesn't change.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
You've said
It
that-
is what it is as it's being mixed in your software or hardware switcher of choice.
I got to step away for a minute.
Yeah, no problem. Any other questions about RTMP ingest before we continue?
What'd I miss?
Did you miss? I just asked if there was any other RTMP ingest questions.
I got tiles. Oh no. Oh God. Wait, look, it crashed. I was just gonna say I got tiles working. Now the NDI crashed. Oh, now it's back. There it is. Is it back? I can't tell.
Yes.
It's really stuttery. That's probably just me. But now you can see. So now if Mike or Lois, if you want to raise your hand, hopefully no, not that hand, the digital hand. So now we got that feedback, and now we can do, you can do reactions. We should see the reactions come up, and we've got the name tags. So now we can actually show how this is all work. Oh, look at Frank and Mike, and it's actually really nice how they kind of go within the in the box. It's nice. Lois, are you testing the hand raise, or did you actually want to say something?
Well, you know, I always want to say something, but you ask us to raise our hands, and I was accommodating you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Why did you want a hand up? I didn't get it.
Why did I want the hands up? So that we can see. So I think you weren't here before that. We wanted to show, this is one of the new features in tiles, is that now you can see reactions. You can see the hands up and things like that. So if you take a look at my screen, when you raise your hand, now you will see your hand raised, whereas before with tiles, you didn't see that. And reactions and other
And that's
things like that.
interesting because the hand that's on that tile square is yellow. The hand that's on me is not yellow.
So that's really interesting. So let me see if we can change that. Include here we
Good
go.
point, Lois. That's true.
Yeah, show raised hand. No, I have the hand icon size, so I can make it bigger. I can make it really big, which is just silly, or really small. And I can move it center, right or left. That is interesting, that for some people, they've been very intentional about choosing the color, the shade of that hand. Yeah.
That's been a while. I actually had it looks like you're finished talking. I'm going to lower your hand countdown.
And I said, don't. Cancel that.
Oh, did you?
If you
You
put
did.
your hand in the center and make it as big as you want, or as big as it'll go, you can really cover up somebody and make it so that, you can't see anything that's going on.
It's like you're in witness protection.
I was going to say, isn't that John Zeta's comment? You can't see me.
Yeah. Okay, so now we can see it. I wonder if it's my network. The NDI really is pretty awful right now.
Yes, I did get confirmation from Andy that it is full NDI, not NDI HX. So it is using about 100 meg per NDI stream.
Yeah, so that may just be me. I apologize for that, everyone. But it's kind of cool.
100 meg, give or take, of course. That is the official number because it fluctuates. It's not a constant bitrate.
Oh no, why is there? Oh, I see. I have to get rid of the background. So let me change the background. Gallery. Canvas type. No, I want this. I don't want any. Oh, that's the wrong thing.
Interestingly, on his tiles, when you put your hand up, you don't move. But on the regular gallery, if you put your hand up, you do move. Not that.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
Yep.
because it's detecting you.
Yeah.
Right. This is not. Yep.
Yeah, I don't have mine turned on to detect hand raises.
Yeah.
Because I talk with my hands and it would be raising my hand all the time.
Peter, did you want to jump in? Sorry.
No, I was merely really commenting on something else, but no.
Okay.
I stepped out because the dog needed to go out.
I'm okay with that.
I have my hand up.
Yes, you do. Now you have two hands up.
Is two hands mean a question for Lois? What does that mean?
Well, my
Yeah, I'm
hand's
not-
up. I'm going to wait for somebody to call on me.
Wait, no one call on her. Let's see what happens. Lois, go ahead.
Okay, so the computer, I mean, the Zoom has added things again without notice. I mean, I'm not saying they didn't announce it, they announced it, but just being a user, not a Zoom Test Kitchen panelist. So what I've found is that I had my camera in the computer, and then I got that other camera up there, the link, whatever, and I switched between two of them. Well, now it turns out it has given me more options, and I look at choosing a camera, and I got that one, and then I got that one, and then two things for my husband's iPhone,
Well,
which is bizarre.
That's because your Mac can use an iPhone as a camera source. So Zoom sees that because your computer sees that.
So it's a computer thing rather than a Zoom thing.
yeah,
Yep.
it's just a
And
tech.
this is new on the computer?
It's not that new. It's been around for
Buddy.
quite a while.
Huh.
Well, a year and a half, maybe a little more than that. Yeah.
I guess when
Lois,
I'm doing this, my husband's usually not in the same room. Yes, Mike?
I was going to say that's the official answer is that your computer is detecting it because it must be close by.
So why isn't it doing mine, which is the closest one? I would love to have this be a camera choice. How would I get that? Y'all know? Never mind, it's a Mac question I'll ask at the Mac users group.
I don't know. David, do you have any insight for Lois or no?
Ask the question again. I apologize. Oh, we can't hear you.
It's picking up my husband's iPhone, if he's in the room. It doesn't pick up mine. And I have a feeling it's because this is on a different account in our
Yes.
family plan
Apple
than
ID.
the other is. And all of them on the family plan, I thought should show up, but this one doesn't.
I
I'll
think it
call
depends.
Apple.
Well, no, I think it depends on which Apple ID is your computer is logged
Secure.
into.
It's a security setting. I put the link in the chat for you, Lois.
Thank you very much, Frank. I'll stop talking for a while now.
But am I correct that as long as you're logged in on your phone with the same Apple ID as you are on your computer, that's when the linkage is made.
And that's the problem, that we have two different Apple IDs, and the one
You also have to have
that's
Bluetooth on. Do you have Bluetooth on?
I think so. Let me check.
No, but what I'm saying, Lois, is your computer logged into the same Apple ID as your phone? Well, that's why it's not working.
Yeah, it won't work if you don't do that.
Yeah, and I was under the impression that if it was in the family plan, which we have, that it would
Gotcha.
work, but apparently not.
Called continuity camera, the feature we're talking about.
Yep. All right. So here's a weird question, which isn't specifically Zoom, but Zoom adjacent. Yesterday, someone showed me a picture of myself from about 4 years ago, and I was really thin, and I'm not anymore. So I bought an Apple Watch because hold on, because it's gonna track my steps. Okay. And I'm gonna lose, like, next year, Zoom Test Kitchen, I'm gonna have lost a lot of weight, but that's not what this is about. What this is about is that I've discovered that I can control Keynote on my iPhone by going like this. I can advance slides by going like this. Here's what I don't understand. Why would I ever want to show a Keynote on my iPhone? That makes zero sense. I mean, I guess I could AirPlay it, but what I really want is to be able to control it on my Mac so that when I'm in a Zoom.
Didn't you say that you could have your iPhone be one of your cameras on your Mac in the Zoom meeting? So you could just switch to that and then there it is. Would that work?
I guess so. I mean, let's see, hold on. Like, I mean, I could.
So David, what you basically want to be able to do is turn your watch into basically a remote control for Keynote on a Mac somewhere.
Right, exactly.
Or specifically, as you are, presenting, all of a sudden you just want to be able to touch your watch, and all of a sudden it changed slide.
Right.
You can do a lot of things with an Apple Watch like that. You can control the camera on your iPhone. You can be
Yeah.
the trigger for the shutter. There's all kinds of different things you can do.
Apparently, with iWatch OS 18, if you double tap the face, you can move your slides on your computer.
Right.
Wait, what?
Oh, there you go. Breaking news.
Wait, because I can, so I'm in, oh, see, it's not working now. Hold on. Come on. Looking for iPhone.
You gotta tap your watch face, not your. Not
Okay,
this.
so wait a second. Hold on. So now I have to, let me stop this. So
Maybe
how do
there are
I,
some instructions to read.
yeah, how do I link it? So,
Watch the latest Mac Break Weekly. Andy Natko talks about it.
he does. Okay. Because I've got a Keynote now open on my computer and I'm looking at my watch. I'm hitting my watch. Nothing's happening. Oh, crap. Wait, I just changed the language. Hold on. Nothing's happening.
Do you think there's a difference between hitting and tapping?
Are you
I mean,
on,
I respond very differently if someone taps me on the shoulder than if they hit me.
are you on the latest Watch OS?
Oh my gosh. I think so. I just bought it this morning. I don't know.
Okay, it should be 11. Make sure
Don't they
it's
send it with
updated.
the latest thing? Or I
Not
actually have to-
necessarily.
Really? All right, hold on. How do I?
Depends on
general?
when it was packed up.
Actually, Apple just invented a thing about 6 months ago where there's a machine in the store that can bulk update devices without taking them out of the package.
Oh, that is so cool.
Really?
Yeah, so
So
that people
cool.
don't have to go home, and it's part of the customer
Wow.
experience, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's interesting.
I'm used to going home and having to update and then update the update. And, yeah.
Apple Watch to advance Keynote. On Apple, you can tap your index finger and thumb together to start playing a slideshow. No, but that's on. Oh, wait a second. Wait. Use a remote. No, that's a use a remote control. Use Apple Watch as a remote control. All right, here we go. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to make it bigger so we can all see it.
In this week's episode of the Apple Test Kitchen.
I'm sorry. All right, move on.
No, do it. I want to see you do it.
Oh, yeah.
You got us all halfway there. Don't stop now.
Okay.
Remember, tap, don't hit.
This is not letting me zoom in. It's really frustrating. All right, it says you must first set up iPhone to be a remote control for the Mac. All right, that I did. Keynote has to be installed on Apple Watch and the companion iPhone. Okay. Yeah, Go to Keynote app on your Mac. Then open the presentation, which I have open. Okay. Okay, I did that. So, sorry, let me. So I've got Keynote open, got a presentation. Then it says, go to Keynote on the thingy dingy and press the play button. But see, what they're missing here. No,
Press
see,
the digital crown, whatever.
no, but
that
they're
is.
missing a step. It's Oh, go to the Keynote app on your Mac and open the presentation. I did that. On Apple Watch, press the digital icon, then tap blank to open Keynote. I did that. To play presentation, tap this. But that's not the way it works. You have to.
Are you saying that green circle doesn't exist on your phone?
No, what I'm saying is that it only controls it on the phone. Go to the Keynote app on the. Oh, wait a second. I think I understand what they're saying. In the okay, go to the Keynote app on the iPhone. Let's try this again. Keynote.
I think you're in the wrong section. There's down below, it says use Apple Watch.
No, I know that. No, I know. But it doesn't work independently. You have to you have to use all three together somehow.
So the question, David, I think is, does your iPhone currently allow you to be remote control?
Yes.
Yes. So now you have to make sure that the watch now controls the iPhone that controls the Mac. And Hasmuth is nodding on me.
Which is just way too much work. I mean, that's insane. I can't even get this to come out of.
Not to mention the subtlety that you have to have Wi-Fi turned on.
Yeah.
On all your
I
devices.
can't even get my iPhone out of. Like, how do I can't even get it out of presentation mode on my iPhone. Like, I'm literally.
And now continuing with the Keynote Zoom testation.
Yeah, all right, fine. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm a bit of
Isn't it good that you have all these friends to help you figure it out?
You know what? I'm really grateful for all of my friends.
Yeah.
Really grateful. Zoomtopia is in 2 weeks, correct?
Right.
Wednesday, yes.
Oh, you know what you could do now, which we couldn't do last week, is you can now create your schedule.
Correct.
Which is exciting. So, and
you can also search, David. You can search if you, more specifically, if you want to make sure that you're available for Andy's presentations, you can actually look him up. It'll show the ones that he's presenting at.
Yep, exactly.
Same word with the schedules thing. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm going to show you. It's not, I have to log into the correct account or else it will not let me do it. Okay.
Is this in Zoom Scheduler?
No, it's in just Zoomtopia. So this is just an event.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You can plan your agenda for Zoomtopia.
Right, exactly.
I thought you were talking about something like the Zoom meetings in the calendar or something.
No. Why am I not able to? There's no log in. Why can I not log in here? This is really strange.
You may be already in the events portal, David?
I don't think so. View full agenda.
So that means Zoom has 2 weeks to release
There we go.
double enders from last Zoomtopia.
Yes. And did everybody see that? Well, I know I can vouch for Windows. There was an update last night, or within.
Yeah, there is a small update for Mac too.
Yeah, and one of the things they did change is subtlety in the UI. If you tried it, used to be, you know how it would display, the change log right as you try to do the update.
Yeah.
Now it doesn't do that anymore.
And it's broken. The what's new, I
It's
clicked on
broken.
it and it didn't launch the what's new stuff.
Yes.
Did you see there's a new UI, and I wasn't sure when I saw this. I wasn't sure if it was. Oh, please God, tell me I saved it somewhere. I took a screenshot of it when I was updating. It was a nice little UI for updating the Zoom.
That's the one we were just talking about. That's the one.
Oh, that's what you're referring to? I apologize.
Basically, it used to be a big long box that you had to scroll through if you actually wanted to read what changed. Now it has, old and a new, old version when you're on, and here comes the new one.
Right.
And then click here. And what Frank was saying, just like what I found, is when I clicked there to go read what changed, it didn't work.
Right.
Yeah, I usually copy all of those notes and paste them and email them to myself to keep a digest of every change.
Right.
Now I couldn't do that.
right. Switch to attendee mode. I'm desperately trying to get into. This is the strangest thing. I'm just trying to get to Zoomtopia, and it's. This worked for me before. I don't know why. Well, I guess I have to register again. I don't. It seems silly. Oy. I just wish there was a it's not even giving me thank you, please hold while they process. Okay. And now I'm in. No, now I'm not in. What? Confirm registration. This is wild. This is it's frustrating. I'm not gonna lie. And yes, I know my phone number was just on that. I don't care. Visit the event page. I don't get it. What am I missing here? Am I doing something wrong? Sign in.
It would depend on the account, David, that you are.
No, I know.
You're in registered
This
with.
is the account that I registered with. I mean, whatever. I'll try this one. I've now registered with 2 different accounts. Zoomtopia.
Yeah, go ahead. Now click register. It should take you to there now.
But what? I don't want to register again. I've registered 4 times already. This is like there's nowhere for me to. Maybe you don't. Maybe this isn't. I don't know. Events.zoom. Maybe I should go to events.zoom.us. Maybe once you.
It should put you into where you have the choices of the different ones that you different events and previous events.
Yeah, this is really frustrating.
Is Zoom Events the same as Zoomtopia?
Well, Zoomtopia is run on, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's run on, that's the platform they use. Am I right about that?
No, you're right.
But why would
It's-
you have to go to the platform in order to get to somebody's event?
Say that again. Why would I?
So you're at Zoom Events, which sounds to me like the place that you would set up events or things. But wouldn't you just go to Zoomtopia rather than to
No,
Zoom?
I was there.
Zoomtopia is a Zoom event.
Well, yeah, but that's like, never mind.
No, that's what I did. You're right. I went to zoomtopia.com and then that wasn't working. And so now I'm trying because it wasn't giving me anywhere to log in. Topia.com. Yeah, this is just very strange. Let me go to the mail because I know that Zoomtopia.
There's a funny link in the mail.
Plan your perfect. Here it is.
Yep.
Select your sessions. So this is taking me to an events.zoom.us.
With a really long.
And it's right. And just for what it's worth, this is my email, the same email that I used that I was logging into before. But it's somehow this is like a different account because if you look at
The account
this
says BP, isn't that you?
right, but this is the same account. And this version of it, when I logged in myself, has my icon. And this, whoops, sorry. And where's the other one? Now I've lost it. I can't keep track. I've got too many things open. Hold on. Just trying to find. Oh my goodness.
The one that said thank you for registering sounds good.
Say. Okay, so now I'm back in again, right? So here we go. So here I'm again, this is the same accounts. Something weird is going on here.
I will.
What is that?
That.
What is that? What just happened? My session has expired?
You said join by Zoom.
No, I didn't click that. What I'm trying to do is click to my profile.
I want to know what that menu is on the left side of your screen. What is that?
Oh, this is the Arc browser.
Arc browser.
Yeah.
Did Tony Stark make it? Like, what is that?
I don't know. How do you describe Arc, the browser? I don't know. It's yeah, it's just a
Different web browser?
different web browser. Yeah, it's built on Chromium. It's a Chromium browser, but it's just you don't have any tabs up at the top. It's all on over here, and you can, I have different folders over here. I don't know. It's just, yeah. I'm really, so I go to my profile, and it brings me right back here. Just between you, me, and the wall. This is one of the reasons I don't use events. I just find it very confusing. I really do. So in any case, here's the agenda builder, right? So what Mike had said before is absolutely correct. You can search for Andy, and you can see exactly what he's teaching that day, and then you can bookmark those. And when you bookmark things, they get added to your agenda. So here's my agenda here, and it actually creates a calendar for me, which is nice. Yeah. So that's that. I have no idea what's going on with my events accounts though, and why this one is not. I don't get it. I'm trying to go to my profile and I can't get anywhere.
I have a question regarding Zoomtopia.
Oh.
I've never been. I've heard it exists. Is it really expensive? Is it free? Do you have to be an enterprise account to get it? What's the skivvy on that?
I'm not going in person. I watched
Is there I don't think there is an in-person this year.
There is no more in person.
It's all done via Zoom. And as far as I know, it's free.
Ooh, maybe I better go check out the events and listen in on whatever Andy's talking about. Always learn something with that man speaking.
That's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different webinars that are going to be happening all day. It's a one-day thing, and it's quite packed. So again, when you go in there, you'll actually see that there are multiple webinars happening at the same time. So it depends on the topics or the different licensing you might have. If you more want to learn more about Zoom Phone or the AI Companion, Zoom AI related stuff, they have all the different sessions in there, and you just have to schedule accordingly.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah, I don't get it. I'm not sure what's going on with this, but that's okay.
If you go to your other one, can you make a?
No, I can't. I don't see anything in the other. I don't get it. There are a lot of it's again, I have to say, they are doubling, tripling, and quadrupling down on AI, and which is just not something that is terribly interesting to me at this point. So, but there's a lot of AI enhanced event strategy, intelligent financial services experiences, AI in Zoom Workplace. There's just a lot.
You know, I have to
Yeah.
admit, I like the AI that takes the notes during a Zoom meeting,
Yeah.
because we end up using that as the starting point for records of decision.
How not reliable isn't the right word, but how what's the word I'm looking for?
Robust.
How good is it? How
It literally will say, because if everyone's in Zoom, if it's not a hybrid meetings, it just completely falls apart. But if everyone's on Zoom, it will say, in the detailed section, it will say, so-and-so talked about X. It will literally talk about it.
Right.
And I've only found, usually, I'm doing this with the Boy Scouts, so it's not like we're talking about super secret stuff. But usually it still gets hung up on jargon, particularly acronyms. But that's, and it comes out really funny sometimes with acronyms, you know, because it tries to figure out what word were you actually saying, and it will come up, it will make something up. But it's editable.
have you ever used the next steps piece of it?
But yeah, that's, I mean, we actually capture that and then do a final edit on it just to make sure it's captured right, and you send it out. And it's, we used to do, because well, you've probably same thing in your local council. I mean, there is a board of directors and there are legal implications about records of decision. And we used to have meeting minutes, and the secretary for the Scout executive would take the meeting minutes and then also listen to the video all over again and make sure it was all right. Now she gets the meeting minutes handed to her, essentially, and then she does listen to the video one more time to make sure she got it all right, but it's not as quite as tedious. Those are her words, actually. Right. You're on mute.
No, that's great. I still find I still struggle to maybe it's the type of folks that I'm working with. We're a faith community, but it's very hard to convince people that Zoom is fine, that we don't need to all actually drive in and come into the building.
Well, I mean, you know, our local Scout Council is across 17 counties in Central Texas. I'm not going to drive 2.5 hours for a 1-hour meeting.
Right, but you know what? I'd like to not drive 10 minutes for a 1-hour meeting. Like,
Yeah.
if we can do it on Zoom, and you know, and I chalk it up to folks not. There was an urgency to doing Zoom meetings well 4 years ago, and 3 years ago, and we've lost that, and so. I don't know. I just, you know, there's a meeting that happens in every month down in Miami, which it would take me a good 40 minutes to get there, half an hour, 40 minutes to get there, even from my office. If they don't offer a Zoom alternative, I don't go. I just don't go.
Right.
It's
A lot
not
of that
worth
is
my time.
personal preference, though.
Yeah, of course, of
you know?
course.
And I agree with you that a faith community is more apt to want to be in person because of the energy and all that other stuff, but still, preference.
Yeah.
I mean, and to be fair, I mean, we still, if we know we're going to have, and once a quarter, we have essentially a whole Saturday worth of conversations. Everyone will come to our local Scout Service Center. I mean, but that's a whole day thing that, you know, you know, and fellowship and all a bunch of stuff there. But if it's just for the once a month board meeting, nah, we'll do it
Right.
online.
Yeah.
So I wanted to jump back into this Zoomtopia thing.
Before you do, Lois, sorry, I need to jump off, and so I just wanted to say
miss
I'm gonna. Well, thank you, but I wanted to. Next week is the beginning of the Jewish high holidays, so I will be otherwise engaged, and I won't be able to be with you. So if you are celebrating next week, Rosh Hashanah, Happy Rosh Hashanah. If you aren't, come back here and join the Zoom Test Kitchen. Mike is gonna lead us. Yeah, Mike, by the way, we have to connect to figure out. I should make you an alt host or something. We'll figure out the best way to do that.
Sure.
Okay.
No problem. Yeah.
All right.
Again,
Sorry,
we'll talk
Lois.
about it in Discord. No problem.
Back to you.
Go ahead, Lois.
So I'm trying to register for Zoomtopia, and it must have a company name, industry, job title, and number of employees. It will not let me register unless I fill that in. That's
Yeah.
weird, isn't it?
Is.
Put anything. Put
Yeah.
Acme Carrot Company.
What?
Just put
Yeah,
anything.
just put in like, yeah, just put in
Acme.
like,
Oh, no,
Yeah.
I'll use my real company, the organizer. Yeah, I've retired from that, but yeah, it's a perfectly good company.
I do
But I
that.
just-
I do self-employed,
Well, yeah.
which is not true, but because I'm not employed by the Boy Scouts, but I am a volunteer for the Boy Scouts.
It makes me think that Zoom does not want anyone who's not a business to attend because they're making it difficult or shameful not to have a business account. So anyway, but I'll go fill it out and I'll go look at Zoom. Bye, guys. I'll see you some other week. It was good chatting with you today.
take care, Lois.
Yep.
Great to see you every week. But yeah, just to follow up what Lois is talking about, yes, there, as you will see, as you log into Zoomtopia, a lot of the sessions or a lot of the webinars are actually targeted to enterprise and small business, because again, they're talking about all the different Zoom, non-Zoom production specific stuff that we usually talk about here on the Zoom Test Kitchen. Go ahead, Pete.
I was agreeing with you. I mean, it's, and I think it was partially David who said it. Says, 4 years ago we were all focused on how to look good on Zoom, how to do things well with online meetings, and we've lost that habit to some extent.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know that corporately with us, with the company that I'm part of the board of directors, that we actually purposely have not governed people to come to back to the office, because again, we ended up getting rid of our offices, and also on top of that too, we've virtually, again, in the line of business that we're in, virtually is a lot more convenient, because again, very similar to what David was talking about, where it's 40 minutes one way from his location to Miami. And again, he's not taking into consideration it's 40 minutes back. That's assuming non-traffic too, for that matter. I know even in our case, trying to get into Toronto and back is a good hour on a good day.
I've driven on the 404.
There you go. So if you know our infamous Don Valley parking lot, for all our Canadians that know Ontario very well, there's a reason we call it a parking lot, not the parkway. So
I used to spend a lot of time in the IBM facility on Don Valley Road.
yeah,
And therefore I had to know 404 really well.
yeah, absolutely. And again, depending on where you actually lived when you were here too, Pete.
Well, I lived in Ottawa. I lived in Ottawa from 2005 through 2008.
So you're down the street from Frank. And of course, for American folks, that's a big joke because, Ottawa is actually quite large. So go ahead, Pete.
I mean, but I had to go over to the IBM facility in Toronto a lot.
So the infamous 401 too, that everybody sees on the infamous ice. What is it? Ice trucker. What is that? 401. There's all 401 rescue. All those different.
Well, 401
TV
rescue
shows.
is just about stupid things people do on highways.
Yeah, more specific. It is the 401. That is, those are all based on our infamous Toronto 401. So yes, it is that bad.
Yeah.
That the film crew. Hello, Lois. Go ahead.
Frank, where are you located?
I'm just outside of Toronto. We'll get back to that. Go ahead, Lois.
So I just want to give you all an update. I went in, I filled it out, I put in it didn't like it, and it said, you have to have a work email. So I put in birdingwithlois@gmail.com, that's a work email. No, it has to be a domain suffix that is not Gmail. It has to be a business email address. So I'm going to have to make up something at Birding with Lois, and I'll never get anything, but it's not taking any of my stuff that's not. Okay, so just
Wow.
let you know. Yep. They really don't want human beings in there, do they?
Yeah, that's
Strange.
surprising. Yeah. Yeah. Again, it's something, so obviously in the actual events portal that they're using, which of course is theirs, you can actually turn on and turn off certain functionalities. And obviously that is in the hub that they're using, that they've done that.
So did you say Frank lives outside of Ottawa?
Frank, where are you? You're almost downtown Ottawa, right?
I'm in Ottawa.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say on the internet.
Yeah.
Well, I used to live at the corner of Bronson and Queen. You would know where that, you would
Yeah,
therefore know
I'm
where
going to
that
make a joke. Maybe Mike will get it. I live at 24 Sussex.
Yeah. Yeah, Pete liked it. So there you go. Yes. So for our international audience, I will officially give everybody into the joke, which is that is officially our prime minister's residence. Yeah. So so Frank does not live with the prime minister. No, he does not.
You don't know.
That's true. That's true. That's true. He does have a couple of, there is a couple of bedrooms that are empty there, if I'm not mistaken lately.
I'm his top Zoom executive.
Oh, that could be true. That could be true. Frank does have some interesting knowledge of Zoom stuff that he keeps telling us, it's not, I can't tell you guys right now, but maybe it's coming out next week.
I never do that.
You never do that. I know.
That would be a violation of the terms.
All kinds of terms. Yes. So let me go a little bit off topic, a little bit. And for some of the people that did see it this week and were bombarded, depending on the people that they follow on YouTube, all the different people that have gotten their hands on sample copies of the Rodecaster video switcher. I'm curious if anybody's looked into that, noticed it, care about it, don't care about it. YouTube chat, let me know. I know there's still a few of you watching as well. So if you're curious I'm curious to hear your thoughts on it.
What's the price on that? Do you know?
In Canada, yet to be determined.
Okay. What are they? Our friends in America paying for one?
Yeah, for our friends in America are paying, I believe it's $11.99 US.
So it sits in between a mini Pro ISO and the base extreme.
Yeah. So so basically, if you want to start doing apples to oranges a little bit, it does have. So if you are familiar with the Blackmagic units, let's just do it this way quickly. We know that the A10 Mini doesn't have a 2ME. Full stop. So we know we have to go either to an extreme, or we have to go to what Pete did, which is the rack mounted unit, which is the Constellation 2ME. The Rodecaster from the Rodecaster video, which I have to remember, I want to call it something different, but it's the Rodecaster video. It actually has extreme capabilities in it, meaning that it does have a 2ME. So that's already built in. So when we're doing apples to apples, when it comes to ME, that's there. Does it have a lot of the minimal capabilities of the Rodecaster Pro? Yes. So the wireless mics can be brought in just like the Rodecaster Pro. It has XLR connections, as I mentioned earlier in the show. XLR and quarter combo jack. If you're familiar with that, you have your choice of either an XLR or a 1/4 inch input. It does have 6 channels, not 4 channels, but it doesn't have 8 channels. So again, where the Extreme has 8 channels and the ATEM only has 4, the Rodecaster is right in the middle. But again, it's only 4 video inputs and 2 USB inputs. So you could, in theory, have 2 USB capture cards that brings in 2 other cameras. So there's
Right.
your 6.
I gotta say, it's
Right.
kind of ugly.
It is ugly a bit, yes.
No, the other thing I've decided this reason, one of the other reasons I went away from the mini line is it took up too much desk space
Away
Like a
from
rack.
the
as opposed to a rack mount.
Oh, yes, sure. Yeah, depending on your environment, Pete, I understand that entirely. So the one that we are seeing, Frank, if that's your sharing, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that is actually the Rodecaster Pro.
Looks
That's
like it
not-
has XLR.
No, this is the podcast
Oh.
unit. This is not the Rodecaster
Oh, okay.
video.
Sorry.
Yeah.
What am I looking? What's it called?
Rodecaster video.
Sorry.
So if you go to B&H was part of the launch. There you go. Yep, that's it right there.
Okay.
That's,
Whole
that's what
different
it,
creature.
yeah.
That's a little better looking.
Yeah. So there's the actual front face and there's the back.
So it does have XLR inputs.
Yeah. Combo jack.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's nice. I wish
And it does have
Blackmagic would do that.
quarter-inch. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is
those
one
are,
of the big
those are
things
those
that,
combo ones, yeah.
yeah. And they're Neutrik as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Neutrik,
They make
depending on how you
nice
want to say it.
audio jacks.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 HDMI.
Yeah. So
Three, two
the
outs.
four-
Assuming
so
one of those is an out.
2 are out.
Oh, two
Two
are
are
outs
out.
and 4 are ins. Okay.
Yeah. So that again is the difference between the ATEM Mini versus the Extreme, where you have your 2 outs. Again, ATEM Mini Pro or ATEM Mini, you only have 1 out, depending on if you go SDI. We're not talking about SDI. We're going to stick with the
Yeah.
HDMI model to HDMI models here.
You gotta
Yeah.
join the wait list.
Yes, because
It's not out yet?
You are officially in Canada,
Oh,
but in,
It knows I'm in
in-
Canada. My IP address must have given me away. Nope.
and yeah, so
You're dropping out, Mike, or at least I don't know.
Yeah, I
You
just saw
notice that, Pete?
Yeah,
Well,
no,
you there
yeah,
got very quiet suddenly.
You
Yeah,
froze up
yep.
too.
yeah, that was me. That was the 3rd time today. I'm not entirely sure why that's happening, but I hope to stick with everybody here. But yeah, so as Frank's showing everybody there, that is so basically what they're doing is they're targeting video podcasts, that marketplace, because what it also has, which the Blackmagics do not, is it has audio follow video. Now
That's
you'll
pretty
see-
cool. I mean, you could throw most of that in a backpack and go portable pretty easy, right? Like,
Yeah, you
Yeah.
could.
Now when I say it as audio follow video, you'll just think between the channels. No, what this will actually do is it'll actually, if within the actual unit, you could actually program, if it hears from this mic, switch to that camera. If you hear from that mic, go to that camera.
I
So
wouldn't use
it's
that.
actually the opposite. It's actually video follows audio.
Correct. If you, yeah, I'm not, the actual term is not coming to me that represents, but that is basically what it is that the video is to follow the audio so it's basically an auto mix of the video for you. So you do not even
I've
have to have
directed
interviews.
thousands of TV shows. I don't think I would ever use that. There's lots of times you want to hold on one shot while somebody else is talking
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
lots
what-
of reasons.
Well, for
Now, what- yeah, and what they
somebody
did
coughing,
do,
switch.
yeah, and what they also did do is they allowed you to have, if it notices both are talking, it'll go to a 3rd shot. So it will go to, so if you
Wide
have
shot.
2 tied in a wide, it will be able to, and again, you could actually weigh it as well, because if it's getting a lot of audio from the mic, then it'll go to a tight. If it's only getting a little bit of audio, it might stay wide. And it's got
What's wrong
that-
with this shot? Nobody's operating the equipment.
That's right.
It's just
So
sitting there.
that's-
She's way too far away to press the buttons.
Right. So that is again, that's related to this, is basically you set it up, you
Yeah.
started going, and it again, it has the capability of USB record out to a hard drive. It also has a way, so let's say you do not have, so Frank, you saw the Rodecaster Pro that you looked at before.
Yeah, the audio mixer. Yeah.
You can actually daisy chain that from USB out of that into the USB in of this, and it will actually add more audio channels for it within the actual.
I wonder how complicated the menus are.
Not. They're very, there you go. There's some of the menus you're seeing right there. There's the audio one there. That's showing you, it's got all the, so it's got compressor, limiter, gate. It's got
Sure.
APHEX. If you know the APHEX based products that Rode now owns, that brand. Rode and the parent company of Rode own that brand. They have all that sound capabilities, and that's been in the Rodecaster Pro and Rodecaster.
That would have been like a whole room of equipment 20 years ago. It's so cool the time we live in now, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's all in there. Yeah, it is. There is not many things missing. So yeah, there you go. There's a perfect example of how it'll switch.
Yeah. What about graphics? Got to bring them in on one of your inputs?
No. Well, it depends. It depends. My official answer will be depends on that. And the reason I say that is it depends on the live. You can actually, it does have chroma key built in, chroma and luma key built in. So if you put them into the store still, they're there.
Still
if
store,
you
yeah.
want to, if it's still store, sorry. Yeah. If you want to go further than that, for it to animate and such and be keyed out properly, then no, you would have to bring it as an input. Or what the community is actually asking Rode to do is have the capability of having a browser based input, so you can actually bring in HTML5 graphics.
So it says graphic overlays, access and arrange custom logos, watermarks, lower thirds, and other graphic assets.
Yeah.
How? It's got a media player? Oh, integrate
Yes.
video files, images, and sounds to your production with ease.
Yep.
Oh, that's cool. I wonder how much memory it has.
SD, it's got an SD card capability.
Okay.
There's on the back, there's actually a little SD card slot above the Ethernet jack.
Interesting.
So that's the little display that you're seeing there. So
Yeah.
it goes you through all the different menus and such. Yeah, recording on board, as well as you can record to USB. Yep. And that's the Rode Central is their software. So that would be equivalent to our infamous from the Blackmagic world. That would be equivalent to Pete. You're gonna beat me to it. What is that called?
I just had it up.
Software control. The ATEM software control.
Right.
That would be
Well,
their equivalent.
Yeah, and plus a bunch of other stuff, right?
Yeah.
You say it's 2ME?
It does have the capabilities of 2ME, yes. Meaning that you can actually do side by side, yes.
Look at the
as
color.
much as
Look at the
extreme.
color space. It's 444 if you're not using the USB inputs.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
But it
Again,
only outputs 422.
Yeah.
Oh, on USB.
On USB. Yeah. So yes, this easily could be used for Zoom.
Video engine color space bit depth. It's only 8-bit,
That,
but it's 444.
yeah.
HDMI color space bit depth 8, 10, and 12-bit. Interesting. All right, send me one.
Frank,
They should send
I-
all three of us one. We're giving them all this free advertising.
there you go. That I'm glad you're showing that, Frank. So there's all the different ports on the back if you want to look at that a little more in depth. So there's the SD card that I was talking about just above the Ethernet. Oh,
Sure.
there you go.
Antenna ports. What antenna? Why
Well,
antennas?
because it can handle wireless mics.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So again, if
This is
you're
my first
familiar
time
with-
seeing this.
Yeah. So if you're familiar with the Rode Wireless Go microphones,
Yeah,
you can.
we have a
you
couple
can
at work.
bring- You can bring them in.
Interesting.
It's got basically it's basically a receiver too. It's a wireless mic receiver as well for their Rode products. As well as you can actually power SM7. Let me do this right. The SM7B, you can power that on this unit as well
Oh yeah.
without any cloud lifter or any funkiness. It's got enough headroom
Cool.
on it.
Right.
Oh, same with all their Rodecaster Pro models can handle that.
I'd love to try one.
Yeah, it's
If
one.
anyone
Yeah,
from Rode is listening,
well, they might be looking for more influencers. They definitely.
we have a couple of Roland portable mixers at work too. They're not too bad.
No, there's nothing wrong with the Roland models at all. But this definitely on the Roland HDMI level, this definitely starts to do it where the ATEM mini extremes and such were already going after the Roland HDMI models. This will start to now go after that because the price point is right in that.
Competition benefits all of us.
Yeah.
And it's just the evolution of technology. I mean, let's face it, with the exception of adding SDI, the mini line hasn't really changed a whole lot.
HDMI is such a horrible cable for video production.
I know. Frank, you'll appreciate this. When I bit down on the Constellation, oh, my whole study is wired in SDI now.
Right. Well, locking BNC connectors makes all the difference in the world. Having an HDMI come out during production is like horrible.
Well, there's that, but it also it handles stress differently on the
Yeah,
cable.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with what the guys are definitely saying when it comes to SDI. You know, if
Yeah,
you
it doesn't
can,
mean I have a room full of little tiny black magic converters.
sure, you have to go into your HDMI based product, of course.
Even
Yeah,
the camera I'm using right now is HDMI based. It's ancient, as in 10-year-old Sony Handycam that does 4K, but has an HDMI port out on it. So I like it because it has auto zoom, which Sony does really well.
right. And again, you know, this is going to be the road. I'm not trying to give you any ideas, but if this was an SDI model instead of HDMI ports, oh boy.
Maybe they're not interested in being in that space though. Maybe they want the podcasters, like you said, you know.
Yeah.
People using the small Sony FX3s and things like that, or FX30s, probably not using FX3s.
Yeah.
Difference between a $4,000 camera and a $1,500 camera.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, again, to give a little promotion to people that actually use B&H, they've actually come up with kits based on the Rodecaster video model, where you can get the whole thing: cameras, mics, boom arms, headphones, all in one kit.
Yep.
So it was definitely quite interesting when this released earlier this week. Because
neat. Just in time for Christmas.
it was
keep me on
rumored-
your list there, Mike.
Understood. This was actually, it was rumored that this was supposed to actually come out later in the year. So it was definitely even a surprise to me from what inside information that I actually had heard about. Because it was supposed to be later. I think what ended up happening was that, and again, I'm just reading the tea leaves, AKA I don't have inside information. My opinion was that I think it got released by a few of the influencers that were approached to test it and denied because of the requirements that Rode put on them, that they decided to make videos on it. And I happened to catch 1, 2, or 3 of them. So I think it's sped up this whole process. But from my understanding, after watching a few influencers, this product's actually been in the works since early January.
In the works. What do you mean by that? Takes years to design something from.
They basically what they had done in early January, early to mid January, from my understanding, is that they invited a group of influencers to their headquarters to, AKA, sign them up to be under NDA and to work them through the process of tweaking the system before it
Okay.
was relaunched
Sure.
this week.
That makes sense.
So, but again, it's been, 8, 9 months. So they probably already had the unit already pretty much done when
Sure.
they had talked to them.
The
in
hardware
January.
was probably designed and it was just a matter of designing the, firmware and the software, right?
Yeah, and getting wish lists from a lot of them going, oh, I wish what did you like about the, insert competition here? Oh, I wish this was in it. I wish that was in it.
Can I
So,
put you on the spot for a second? Maybe you don't know, so that's fine.
sure.
Is there any kind of memory where you can like set up a show and save that as a file? Like this is, let's say you had one of these on Mondays, I used it, and on Tuesdays you were using it, and I liked, maybe I had some settings in there that I wanted to store in like a preference file or something. Do you know if it can do anything like that?
So taking that back to the Black Magic world, as Pete would know, that you could actually save that as a full config profile.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Can you do that in the Rode? I don't know through the current education of, and again, based on the influencers that were specifically talking about all the different features.
Sure.
There was no mention about profile saving.
Maybe it's not necessary,
but I did see reference to that if you do turn it off and turn it back on again, it doesn't act like if you never save the startup state in a Blackmagic, it will always default to defaults. With the Rode, it will always remember what was last configured.
Okay.
That I did see because somebody
so
actually
non-volatile
uploaded it.
memory.
Yeah. But it sounds like there's a lot of the influencers use the term room to grow with the current chipset that is inside this unit.
Interesting. Well, as
So-
it matures, they'll probably make improvements.
Yeah, the Rode has done. Pete, have you ever played with the Rodecaster Pro, Pete, or no?
No.
Yeah, they've done I know of at least one, if not 2 updates that they've done to the Rodecaster Pro, and there's probably been more than that. And if anybody on chat on YouTube knows, by all means chime in and let us know. But as far as my understanding is, there's been at least a couple updates that Rode has done for the Rodecaster Pro models themselves. So they are not send it out as hardware and never update type of company.
Yeah, my portable audio device is interestingly enough a Zoom F8N, which gives me 8 inputs.
So here's a question that'll
Sure.
expose my ignorance. I usually think of Rode as an audio company. Is this their first video product?
This is the one that came out earlier, and I think we briefly talked about it here also on the Zoom Test Kitchen, was the, I just want to make sure I get the right naming of it. It is a Rode, It is a Rodecaster. I'm trying to remember if it's the Duo. Is it the Duo? Sorry, just give me a second. I'm just gonna figure out. I know what Frank is asking, and I just want to make sure. It is just a video capture card, basically. There it is. The Streamer X was the unit. So this is not their first, but the I'll just show everybody since we're talking about it. And again, this is quite convenient depending on, there we go. And share. All right. So this is the Streamer X.
Oh, I remember
unit,
when that came out. Yeah.
right? So this is actually an audio interface. And so there you go. So there's your combo jack again. And it's an in and out. So basically it's again set up to be used for, they're targeting the gaming industry, e-gaming industry. And you got your in, you're through, and then you got your USBs so you can bring it into your PC. So, and again, it's got the infamous buttons like so you can have your sound effects and such here. It does have a mute button. It does turn your video on and off, and you do have control of your mic level as well as your headphone level. So you can actually plug in your headphones on the back of this as well. And you have your choice of it just being regular headphones or it actually being, as you see here, it could be headphones with a mic. But again, taking that in via TRRS.
Right.
But so
Tip, ring, sleeve for those of you who may still be watching.
yeah, we actually have a lot of people still watching us, believe it or not, guys. So, but yeah, so that is the Streamer X. So that was their first, Frank. But yes, they've gone from that to this now. So that was sort of a hybrid between their baby. So they initially came out with the Rodecaster Pro, which was 4-channel. So the assumption was that it was going to be a 4-way podcast. So 4 people podcast and everybody has their own dedicated mic. Then they came up with their Rodecaster Mini, which is a 2-port. And they came up with the Streamer X, which is just a 1-in. And they also made it a video capture card. Now they've gone to this, which is the Rodecaster Video. Trying to get the name down properly because I want to say Rode Video Caster, but it's not. Rodecaster sticking with their Rodecaster brand name, but it's their video product.
Always nervous about getting a V1 product. First revision.
Not
Is
an
usually
abnormal
safer.
thing. Yeah, not an abnormal thing to hear. There are now again, does it have a built-in encoder? Yes. So when we were talking about the RTMP ingest, yes, you could actually use the Rodecaster Video to be your RTMP ingest into a webinar, Zoom sessions or Zoom events webinar. But it also has built in for YouTube, Facebook, and I believe Twitch and custom. So in this case, custom would be where you would put in the actual URLs that you would get within the actual Zoom hub in the RTMP ingest section of the webinar when you're setting up the Zoom event or Zoom session webinar. Okay, so I'm just going to put into chat on YouTube to see if there's any last questions or comments before we close it down. Any other Zoom related topics, Frank, that we missed maybe today that would be good to know about before next week?
I'm gonna go have supper in a minute, so I'm not gonna open anything new.
All right, cool.
I usually don't think right before Zoomtopia, Zoom doesn't really put out a lot of stuff because they're about to showcase all kinds of new stuff, right?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was a little surprised. And correct me if I'm wrong, this was the second client update this week.
Yeah, but it seemed like it was mostly bug fixes.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't look specifically to see why, because all of a sudden I always prepare my studio to make sure that I'm always in the latest when I join everybody here on the Zoom Test Kitchen. So I did do my due diligence yesterday to make sure to prepare for today. And all of a sudden there was an update. It's like, wasn't there enough? And then I tried to remember if there was actually an update earlier this week. I was like, I think so. So good. I'm glad I remembered that properly. Okay. So we have viewers watching us on YouTube. Hello, YouTube. But you guys are very quiet. So on that note, I'll prepare us to close off our session for today. There we go. All right. So from everybody here on the Zoom Test Kitchen, thank everyone for joining us this week. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel to let YouTube know how much you like our content. And don't forget to join us every week here on the Zoom Test Kitchen. We're here every Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific. And next week, again, will be another edition, and check out the actual thumbnail and stay tuned in our Discord to find out what we're going to be talking about next week in another edition of the Zoom Test Kitchen. Take care, you.